What's crack with you people? Anansi here, and let me give you my 2 cents on the GTA 6 situation. Now, this is kind of a part two to an initial video I put out, um, where I was talking about why I'm not excited for GTA 6. And in it, I went on about how I wasn't happy with the current state of the games as an objective whole, like as a whole package, as a product to be consumed and well to be purchased and consumed. Um, I went on and on about how I felt like the games were getting less and less fun with each release post San Andreas. But again, if you want more information on that, feel free to watch the video. Um, Today, I want to talk about the pricing situation of GTA 6. Now, it has been announced that GTA 6 is going to be priced at $80 for the base edition. Well, Nintendo set the precedent for that with Mario Kart World Tour? Or Mario Kart World, I can't remember exactly what it's called because I didn't really care. But Nintendo did set the precedent with a game that, in my opinion, didn't have the longevity to warrant that kind of price increase or the wealth of content necessary to warrant that price increase. Now, GTA 6 is coming out, and the pre-orders are up for the regular edition and the ultimate edition. Now, in the regular edition, you get your game, get to play it start to finish, stuff like that. Nothing too crazy. GTA Online is launching separately, which, okay, fine. GTA 5, that online component will launch separately as well. So it's not out the realm of possibility. And honestly, when it comes to these online um, features in games, I feel like we are going to inevitably get to a point where um, the online is going to be a separate component of apart from the single player experience. Especially considering the fact that every online game now is trying to be a live service with oodles and oodles of microtransactions for people to spend extra money on not even cosmetics. If it was just cosmetics, I'd be okay with that. But it's like to pay money to skip the grind towards um in-game accomplishments. GTA 5 was notorious for this. You started off with you could reasonably expect to get some vehicles and upgrade them within a reasonable amount if you just did a few of the basic missions or you just ran around, stole things, stuff like that. But as the years went on with GTA Online, it became more and more ridiculous to do it unless you had a dedicated group of friends to run the heist over and over and over again, and then to try to get the one-time bonus of completing a heist without dying with the same crew. That was ridiculous. Um, and people just ultimately ended up bypassing the game by purchasing the shark cards. I think in 1 year they made 70 billion. I think it's 70 billion or 70 million. I want to say $70 billion off of shark cards in 1 year, and that was like in 20 um 16 or 17, I think. So so again, like these games pay for themselves. They make bank. But what GTA 6 is doing is basically kind of harkening back towards a earlier point in gaming, and I remember we um drug EA over the coals. It's like we raked them over the coals for this one because the Ultimate Edition, as has been admitted by Rockstar, that is $100, so an extra $20 on top of the $80 to get this Ultimate Edition, has exclusive content, exclusive cosmetics, and exclusive items that are, and I quote, woven into the main story of GTA 6. Let me put that into perspective for you. What that basically means is that if you are on a budget and Given how things are going right now in terms of economic hardships for the average everyday person, $80 is a lot of money for a video game. It just is. I remember, going to put on my crotchety old man hat here, I remember a brand new game was $20. I remember when Sonic Adventure 2 came out, you could pre-order that game for $20. I remember when GTA San Andreas was $20. I remember when all the original GTA trilogy was $20. I remember all of that. I remember when things jumped to $40. I thought, okay, and I didn't think much of it because, again, I was young. But I was too young to actually have a job and have money of my own. Then things got up to $60, and that's the ecosystem of gaming that I ended up participating in once I actually had money of my own. Now we're up to 80 just for a base game. So you're hoping the game is going to be good and you're going to get all the content. No. Now what the Ultimate Edition is on-disc DLC. And again, we raked EA over the coals for this on Mass Effect 3. Mass Effect 3 announced they had on-disc DLC that had a character, a Prothean, which if you're not familiar with Mass Effect, Protheans are a big deal in Mass Effect, and this was a character who is lore important, story important, narratively important to the overarching story of Mass Effect, and they locked it behind on-disc DLC. That's what the Ultimate Edition is. The Ultimate Edition is on-disc DLC that people are willfully paying for. Because here's the thing, I looked it up when I got home today. I think GTA 6, Rockstar was expecting GTA 6 to, I think it cost them $1 billion to make this game. And they were expecting it to make $3 billion in pre-order, to make $3 billion at least total. It has made $3 billion alone in pre-orders because of how I want to try to be as nice about this as I can, but because of how brand loyal people are to this game franchise, to this IP, and I have to, I'm gonna be honest with you, the Ultimate Edition, this on this DLC Ultimate Edition, is a double-edged sword. Because on the one hand, it cannot suck. This on this DLC, if it is truly interwoven into the story, it cannot suck and it cannot be lackluster. It just can't. Because it's going to set a bad precedent, or it's going to, depending on the people involved, because this game is going to be streamed. You know it's going to be streamed. It's going to be let's played. It's going to be, you're going to have guides and all that stuff for it. It's going to have a guides and stuff all for it. You know this is going to happen, and people are going to come to these moments, and then the people that are playing the regular edition are going to not come to these moments. People are going to see the side by side, and if for some reason that on this DLC is lacking in any way, shape, or form, people are literally going to go, then what was the point of the $20 extra for the Ultimate Edition? You didn't get anything really worthwhile, especially the items and cosmetics. There was no reason to do that. Like, if the items and cosmetics were Ultimate Edition exclusive, that'd be one thing, right? Like, okay, here's two good examples for you. I was a big Halo guy back in the day. Pre-Halo 4 era, pre-343 Studios era, I was a massive Halo fan. I got every single game, launch day, well, post 2. Because I wasn't old enough to really understand Halo at the time. When I got into Halo, I'm like, oh, I gotta get this all the time. I pre-ordered Halo Wars. And the pre-order didn't cost me extra. I remember that game. I remember it not costing me extra to pre-order. You just pre-ordered the game and you got flaming warthog skins for your warthogs in the game. Wasn't much. It was a simple cosmetic. It wasn't crazy, but they didn't charge extra for it. It was literally, oh, you pre-ordered the game? Okay, here's a bonus for you. Then Halo 3 ODST came out. And for the pre-order bonus, you got to play as Sergeant Johnson in the firefight mode. Again, that didn't cost extra. You just had to pre-order the game, and boom, here's your download code for it. It was simple. Now GTA has this thing where it's like an extra $20 and you get like what? A few vehicles and a few special haircuts? Like, what's the point of the Ultimate Edition? Do you get special box art? Do you get a metal case? Do you get something tangible, physical, to warrant the price increase? No. As a matter of fact, going on to the physical aspect of it, you don't actually get a physical copy of the game. You get a case with a sheet of paper with a download code in it. They say it's to prevent leaks. What leaks? Like, if there's any leaks, it's going to be from inside the company, and you don't have a shortage of supply. People are able to pre-order these games ad nauseum. It's so ubiquitous that scalpers are selling the pre-order for the $80 base game at the price of the Ultimate Edition, despite the fact that there isn't a shortage of GTA 6 copies. This isn't one of those limited run copy things. You can literally just pre-order the game as much as you want. Well, not much as you want, but as many copies as can be pre-ordered, and they will be shipped out. That's how that works. At least right now, anyway. So there was no reason. So there was no reason to do it, and you don't get a physical copy of it, of the game. Not really. They say they're going to do a physical disc copy later on down the road in like December. And I think the game is set to launch in November, I want to say. So like a month later. So it's only be a couple of weeks, but you'll get a physical copy. But what does that mean for the people that already pre-ordered the game? Do they have to then go out and buy a physical copy? And even then, is the disc actually going to be the game itself, or is it going to be a download for the game? You know, again, showing my age here again, but I remember when you got a game, and this wasn't that long ago. It was actually as recently as like 2015. So it was like, this is like less than a decade ago. When you bought a game, it was on the disc. You didn't have to download the game. You might have to download a couple of patches, but the game was on the disc. It didn't take up space on your hard drive. Nowadays, you get a disc that downloads to your hard drive, taking up space on your hard drive. You have to go in there and delete games off your hard drive to make room for other games, and it's just a hassle back and forth. It used to be you had the disc, you plug it in, and you play. You had the game cartridge, you plug it in, and you play. Nintendo still to some degree does it, but with the Switch 2, they basically dropped it. But yeah, no, you don't even get a physical copy of the game, so it's like, again, why are you paying all this extra money for? And then the only real pre-order bonus that you do get that is like, I guess would warrant the extra money, is you get a free month of GTA Plus that then auto renews for $7.99 every subsequent month. So unless you are actively remembering to go in, use that free month code, and then cancel it the moment you enter it, you run the risk of being charged every single month. And I doubt that they send you notifications saying, oh, hey, your subscription to GTA Plus is about to renew. So you just end up paying and paying and paying without realizing it until you see that charge and go, oh, I got to cancel this. And then on top of all that, going back to the whole how you get your copy delivered, Sony just announced that they are removing 500 movies from their PlayStation library, from their catalog. You will no longer be able to stream these movies on your PlayStation account. Now, I still always get physical movies wherever I can. I try my best to stay physical as much as I can, even though it's getting kind of harder and harder as time has gone on. I do have a few digital games that I do own, but I try to make sure that they're games that I can download to the card drive, because I remember one time I downloaded Ninja Gaiden Black on the 360, and while it was on my hard drive, I couldn't play it because I didn't have an internet connection. Yeah, that was a real bonehead move on on Team Ninja's part, but now I'm digressing from there. But all this to say is that if Sony can just remove these movies from your library, and they're not going to refund the people that bought these movies, that is an important distinction to make. They are not refunding the people who bought these movies. It's just Their justification is you didn't actually buy the movie, you bought the license to stream it to your PlayStation. Okay, but you have but that license can only be purchased through PlayStation's network, because PlayStation Network put the license up for purchase in the first place. So even if you're not being refunded for the movie, you should still be refunded for the license. But no, they're not going to refund people at all. And again, this is 500 something movies. I'm willing to bet you, I doubt everyone. I doubt people have bought all 500 movies. I doubt there's people who have bought anywhere near maybe 30 movies off that list, or even on PlayStation. People, I think people still either stream it via Netflix or Hulu or whatever streaming service you have, or they're like me and they buy physical editions. But the point still stands. If you if PlayStation can just revoke and take away your ability to stream something that you paid money for, you gave them your hard-earned money for, and they go, "Oh, okay, we're gonna keep your money. Now you can never access this again." What's to stop them from doing the same thing with GTA? Because if the people who have pre-ordered the game, they're going to get the physical, and massive quotes, edition that has a download code in it. Are they going to, again, send these people a physical version later on? Or do they expect them to buy a physical version later? In which case, they're not going to do it. They're just going to play this digital version until, oh wait, we have to revoke this or make it where you cannot access this game anymore. I'm telling you, man, this is getting absolutely ridiculous. Honestly, it's to a point where it has it has surprised me that no one's made a retro console, a retro unit console that basically, I mean, technically speaking, that's Steam, but even then, that's still on a license by license situation. But I'm surprised no one's made a console or service where it's like, okay, you can purchase all of these you can purchase every game that's ever come out, and you have the freedom to download those games onto um, a disc or a cartridge and play them on whatever your gaming platform of choice is. It's getting to the point where that is probably going to be a more viable option, or at least something someone's going to have to do, or maybe someone will think up, as opposed to what's happening now. And even if they did think that up, they'd probably be slapped with a bajillion lawsuits. Remember, I saw a short of one lady. She made a uniconsole where she took the Nintendo Switch, the PlayStation 5, and the Xbox One X, and she combined it into one solid system where you just hit the button to swap between which console you're using and play your games like that. You don't have to have multiple consoles on your entertainment system to play these games. People are going to start doing stuff like this. They're going to start going around these companies. They're going to start um, ignoring the way these companies want people to interact with the mediums, because what's happening now is frankly ridiculous, beyond ridiculous. We are slowly but surely entering, well, not even entering, I think we already there, but we're delving deeper and deeper into the era of you will rent everything and own nothing, and you will be happy for it. You will be grateful for it. No, I don't care. It just go back to Apple too. Apple has the same mindset with their phones. I don't care if it's your product. It's my money. I'm buying it. Ergo, it becomes my property. And when it is my property, I have the right to access it whenever I want, however I want, and in whatever way I want. Right? Now, as far as like online features, sure, I get that. You want to make sure it's balanced and fair for everybody else, and that people are not getting their graphics cards blown out, or their memory storage is blown out, or their consoles bricked, or getting their information stolen. I get that, but when it comes to like the single player experience, when I buy it, I should own it. And given how well GTA 6 has sold on pre-orders alone, I don't see this changing anytime soon. This is definitely one of those vote with your wallet situations, but not enough people are doing that. You are obviously going to have parents who want to make sure their kids are happy, buy them the latest greatest thing. I get that. Until a greater portion of the consumer populace that is willing to say, I'm just not going to buy this and actually tank a company's profits, the sooner we get to that point, the sooner this can change. Because all it would genuinely take is people go looking at GTA 6 and going, wait, you're doing what, and what? I'm not paying for this. And have the pre-orders not even break a few $1,000s and have it projected to fail for them to go, okay, we will change course. Because if something like GTA 6 can fail and Nintendo can fail, then suddenly the face of the gaming industry changes. The gaming landscape changes. It's one thing to make EA the bad guy. Everybody knows EA sucks. Everybody knows Activision sucks. Everybody knows that Ubisoft has basically run out of ideas in terms of like their IPs and whatnot. But when the heavy hitters, the big IPs like well not Rockstar, but like the big companies like Rockstar and the IPs like GTA, the companies like Nintendo and the IPs like Mario and Zelda, once those start tanking, that's when change happens, and hopefully change for the better. But yeah, I wanted to get my thoughts out on this because I just I know I'm sound like a crotchety old man. I'm only 31, okay? But I remember when games were affordable, when they were $20 a piece, when a pre-order bonus was a legit bonus. You would get like a steel case and an art book and a soundtrack, maybe a poster, maybe a statue, something like that. I like, and again, this is like for like not even that big IPs. It makes no sense for something like GTA 6 not to have a massive IP, not massive IP, not to have a massive or at least a tangible reward like a poster for your wall. You know, something that would justify the $20 for the Ultimate Edition. Um, but yeah, I remember when games were affordable, and I remember when people would take a stand when a bad business practice was happening. But now, it feels like less and less people are willing to do that because they want either A, the convenience of owning the game when it comes out, no matter the cost, or B, people are so unsatisfied. Not unsatisfied. Unsatisfied is not a word. Dissatisfied. Why did I say unsatisfied? That's not a word. People are so dissatisfied with their lot in life, with where they are in life, or no, we'll say that for a second, but it's so dissatisfied with their lot in life that they're just like, I don't care how much it costs, just give me something to forget how terrible my life is right now. Or they're hoping to hop on the bandwagon for the next big thing to blow up their career and to get them out of their stagnant existence. Because I'm going to be honest with you, it feels like a lot of people that pre-order GTA 6, I would say if there are 100 people in a room that pre-order GTA 6, I'm willing to bet maybe 40 of them, 30 to 40 of them purchased it purely for the fun factor of GTA. Everybody else is doing it because they want to stream it and they're hoping to make big bank off of it. And I think you're going to get a few people who will at least get some notoriety. There won't. I don't think there'll be millionaires made overnight on this game, but you're going to have a lot of people who are probably going to get famous off of this. But whether or not that longevity holds is all on their skill and ability and talent as a content creator. But if it doesn't, if it becomes oversaturated, if it doesn't make people household names overnight, then what was the point of purchasing GTA 6 besides potentially showing that GTA has finally lost its way? I don't think, and again, I said in my previous video, I don't think GTA 6 will be a terrible game, but I'm not convinced it'll be a fun and memorable game. Even once the online launches. Because I'm willing to bet you good money that Rockstar and Take-Two, I think is their parent company or something like that. I can't remember the exact relationship, but I'm willing to bet you good money that they have not learned their lesson from the shark cards, or at the bare minimum, they haven't learned the right lessons from GTA 5 Online, and we're going to see things get significantly worse with the GTA 6 Online component. But that's just my 2 cents. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and we'll see what happens. In the meantime, I've been Anansi. This has been my 2 cents. Deuces.